The story begins with a young boy named Henry Turner, the son of Will Turner and Elizabeth Swan. Now 12 years old, Henry is determined to break the curse that binds his father to the Flying Dutchman, a ship that only allows Will to set foot on land once every 10 years. Henry believes he has discovered a way to free his father once and for all. One night, Henry rows a small boat into the middle of the ocean and drops an anchor deep into the sea, hoping to summon the Dutchman. Miraculously, the massive ghostly ship emerges from the depths, and Henry comes face to face with his father. Will is shocked to see his son and warns him not to be there. It's dangerous. But Henry insists, claiming he knows about an artifact called the Trident of Poseidon, a powerful object that can break all curses at sea. Will is skeptical and tells him that the trident is a myth. Nevertheless, Henry is resolute. Before being sent back to the surface, Will gives his son a special talisman and says goodbye. Years pass. Henry grows into a brave young man, serving aboard a British Royal Navy ship. While navigating the seas, Henry notices the ship is headed straight into the Devil's Triangle, a mysterious area of the ocean feared by all sailors. He warns the captain, telling him no ship has ever returned from that place. The captain ignores him and has Henry imprisoned. As the ship enters the eerie, dark waters of the Devil's Triangle, it encounters a wrecked ship. Suddenly, ghostly pirates led by the terrifying Captain Armando Salazar board the ship. These undead sailors are ruthless and kill most of the crew. Salazar finds Henry and spares his life. He tells Henry to deliver a message. Tell Jack Sparrow that death is coming for him. Salazar wants revenge, and he intends to kill Jack himself. Meanwhile, in the town of St. Martin, a young woman named Karina Smith is imprisoned, accused of witchcraft. In truth, she is an intelligent astronomer fascinated by the stars and science. She escapes captivity and sets off on a personal quest to find the Trident of Poseidon, using a mysterious diary left behind by her father. At the same time, Jack Sparrow, our infamous rum-loving pirate, is attempting to rob a bank. In typical Jack fashion, the plan goes hilariously wrong. His crew accidentally drags the entire bank building through the town streets while trying to steal the vault. Eventually, Jack ends up inside the vault, passed out drunk. When he opens the vault later, he discovers all the gold has spilled out along the way. His crew is furious. There's no treasure, no ship, and no future with Jack. They abandon him. Desperate and alone, Jack trades away his magical compass for a bottle of rum. But the moment he does, a dark magic is released. This compass was the last seal keeping Salazar and his crew trapped in the Devil's Triangle. Now, the ghost ship is free to roam the seas once more. Henry, now imprisoned in a British base hospital, is interrogated by officers who suspect he betrayed his crew. Just then, Karina arrives in disguise. She has learned of Henry's knowledge about the trident and questions him. Henry shares what he knows, and Karina reveals that her father's diary contains a celestial map to the trident. But no one has ever been able to decipher it, as the secret lies in the stars. Meanwhile, Jack Sparrow is captured again and sentenced to death alongside Karina. But just before their execution, Henry leads a daring rescue mission, saving both Jack and Karina. The trio now finds themselves united with a common goal: to locate the Trident of Poseidon. As they journey together, Salazar continues his rampage across the seas, destroying every pirate ship in his path in search of Jack Sparrow. He seeks revenge for a past grievance. Jack was the one who originally outwitted him and led his ship into the Devil's Triangle, trapping him and his men in their ghostly state. We learn Salazar's backstory. Once a proud and merciless Spanish Navy officer, Salazar had vowed to exterminate all pirates after watching his father and fellow countrymen die at pirate hands. He was successful in his mission, until he crossed paths with a clever young pirate named Jack Sparrow. During a deadly naval chase, Jack led Salazar into the cursed waters of the Triangle and escaped, dooming Salazar forever. Elsewhere, Karina and Henry grow closer. Karina tells him the diary is her only link to her father, a man she's never known but believes was searching for the Trident too. Henry, meanwhile, is motivated by his desire to save his own father. They both realize their fates are intertwined. Back at sea, the British Navy launches a pursuit to capture Jack and his allies. But their ship is ambushed and completely destroyed by Salazar's ghost ship. Salazar captures Henry, hoping to use him to track down Jack. The surviving trio, Jack, Karina, and Barbassa, who makes a dramatic return, realize that their only hope is to unleash the Black Pearl once more. The legendary ship is currently trapped in a tiny bottle, cursed by Blackbeard. Barbassa has Blackbeard's sword, the only weapon capable of breaking the curse. He strikes the bottle, cracking it open. The black pearl begins to grow rapidly, finally returning to its former glory. The crew sets sail toward the final destination, Poseidon's tomb, hoping to get there before Salazar. As they sail, Barbassa becomes curious about Karina. He notices a diary and a red ruby necklace she wears. Slowly, it becomes clear. Karina is his daughter, the child he left at an orphanage long ago with only that necklace and diary as clues to her past. He keeps this truth hidden for now. As Jack Sparrow, Henry, Karina, and Barbassa journey closer to the location of the Trident of Poseidon, tension rises. The celestial map from Karina's diary reveals a hidden island that only appears when the stars align, a mystical place known as Poseidon's tomb. The trident is said to rest at the heart of this tomb, guarded by the magic of the sea itself. One night, while observing the stars, Karina spots a constellation that matches a formation in the diary. It reveals the location of the island, a place thought to exist only in legend. With the clues aligned, they set sail in that direction aboard the newly revived Black Pearl. Meanwhile, Salazar has possessed Henry's body. Because he cannot set foot on land, this allows him to move freely and strike at the heart of the group. Jack, Karina, and Barbassa land on the island, unaware of the danger that's arrived with them. The trio follows the celestial trail made of glowing crystals embedded in the sand. These crystals mirror the night sky. Karina realizes that one of the crystals is incomplete. It's missing a small gemstone. Reaching into her necklace, she retrieves the exact matching piece. When she places it into the crystal, a brilliant light erupts. Suddenly, the sea parts, revealing a narrow path that leads deep into the ocean floor. The path is surrounded by walls of water, held apart by ancient magic. Jack, Karina, and Barbassa descend the path, knowing this may be their only chance to retrieve the trident. At the center of the sea, they find it, the legendary Trident of Poseidon, a towering golden weapon pulsing with divine energy. As they approach it, Salazar, still in Henry's body, attacks. A violent struggle breaks out. Jack and Barbassa try to hold him back while Karina reaches for the trident. Just then, Salazar exits Henry's body and takes the trident for himself. Now in his ghostly form, he becomes more powerful than ever. He attempts to use the trident's power to destroy them, but Karina and Henry realize something crucial. The curse on the sea, and all the magic that binds Salazar and others like Will Turner, can only be broken if the trident is destroyed. Henry takes up a sword and, with all his strength, strikes the trident. It shatters into pieces. A massive shockwave spreads through the ocean. Instantly, the curses of the sea are undone. Salazar and his ghostly crew begin to dissolve. The parted sea collapses and water floods back into the trench. Everyone scrambles to escape. The Black Pearl throws ropes down as the trench rapidly fills. The crew begins hauling Jack, Karina, and Henry back to safety. But Salazar, still barely clinging to life, grabs onto Karina and pulls her down. Barbassa sees this and, without hesitation, dives after them. In a heart-wrenching moment, he grabs his daughter, holding her tightly. Karina looks into his eyes, and he finally speaks the words she's waited her whole life to hear. "You are my treasure." With that, Barbassa lets go, sacrificing himself to ensure his daughter survives. He plunges into the depths along with Salazar as the sea crashes down on them. Back aboard the Pearl, Jack watches solemnly as Karina mourns the father she barely got to know. The ocean is calm once again. Sometime later, on a peaceful hilltop, Will Turner steps off the Dutchman, free from his curse at last. Elizabeth Swan waits for him. The two embrace, reunited after years of separation. Henry watches, overjoyed to see his family whole again. He holds the necklace his father once gave him, a symbol of the bond they now share once more. Nearby, Karina and Henry stand together. Their bond, forged through danger and loss, has only grown stronger. Karina has finally found her father's identity, and Henry has freed his own. As for Jack Sparrow, he returns to what he does best. With his beloved ship, the Black Pearl, restored and his compass back in hand, he sets sail once more. The open sea calls to him, wild and unpredictable. His crew rallies behind him once again. Despite everything, Jack remains Jack, charming, ridiculous, clever, and impossibly lucky. But just when it seems like peace has returned, the final scene teases a new threat. Will Turner and Elizabeth sleep peacefully in their home. A shadowy figure enters their room, dark, with a trident-shaped silhouette. Will suddenly wakes, gasping. He looks around, but there's nothing there, only the reflection of water on the floor, hinting at a dark force that may still remain beneath the waves. The screen fades to black.